It is live streamed, yeah. I'll get the signal here.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like things are working. Yeah, we are streaming. And I got to turn that off on my side so I don't get this nonsense here. Let's see. Looks like things are working. There we go. And I'm able to see everybody here. I'm going to keep it in gallery view for now, so that everybody that has their cameras on will be seen on YouTube for the beginning at least, and that'll be fun. Um, we're having a little bit of a technical issue today because Steve said that his computer is crashing. Unfortunately, Steve's also where all of the music and lyrics are at, so hopefully he'll be able to get through all this. He's not going to be turning on his camera because that takes up bandwidth, of course, um, but that's okay. So let's see, I think we're going to have Bobby coming on back here in a couple of minutes. I told him to go ahead and turn on his camera and show up at 7:05 because we do have a few people that I know are running a little bit late today. Um, let's see. So thank you all for coming. I'm really excited about having Bobby here. As I had mentioned in some of the other stuff too, um, Bobby is one of my good friends, and I've known him for many, many years. And it's interesting too because he wrote a book called The Musician's Handbook, and I actually got a chance to be part of that. So I think I'm in the credits on one of the editions, and that was a whole lot of fun. And he's also been a guest speaker at a lot of different workshops, seminars, and conferences. And he started off doing a lot of this stuff right along about when SongNet started too, about 20 years ago. So we're really excited to have him here because he's kind of like family in a lot of ways. Except he's progressed quite a bit, and now he's teaching all over the place. I think he'll tell us a little bit more about that when he comes on. So, Bobby, you there yet? Come on up.
Yeah. How you
There
guys
you
doing?
Good, good.
Good
All
to meet
right.
everybody. Nice to see you.
So, Bobby, you can tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and where you're at and all that.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. Am I okay on you guys' side?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
fine.
Sounds okay.
Okay. I'll just deal with it then. So yes, thank you very much for having me. So currently I'm a professor at USC's Annenberg School of Communication and also at USC's Thornton School of Music as well. I teach classes called DIY music marketing, distribution of recordings, and also a management class as well. I am the author of a couple different books: Music Marketing for the DIY Musician, Business Basics for Musicians. Another book called Introduction to Music Publishing, which maybe we'll have an opportunity to give a copy out this evening sometime if Jimmy comes up with a cool little contest, I suppose we can say. And I'm also proud to be to announce the release of a new book coming out this February called Personal Finance for Musicians. One of my passions for many years has also been personal finance and investing and that type of thing. And I kind of keep that on the down low, but there's a lot of information I think that musicians really need to know about with regards to all of that stuff, budgeting, investing, credit scores, and so on and so forth. And there's so many young musicians that fall into money and then lose it all and don't know how to, handle it correctly. So I'm excited about that book. Prior to that, I began as a professional musician, just a guy that was really, really passionate about music. And from a very young age, I practiced ridiculous amounts of hours all day long. and ended up studying with some great people in New York, and then going to Berklee College of Music in Boston, where I earned a BA in professional music. And from that point onward, I had about a good 12 to 15 years of being in different groups that were signed to recording labels and working with some really big producers and working with some really big songwriters, and traveling around the country on tour buses and doing all the touring stuff. And that was a whole lot of fun. I did notice that there are, there were a lot of people out there that are just dying to take advantage of musicians, and that started to bother me. So I all of a sudden became really passionate in the business side of music, and I just literally cold turkeyed, and just we were going out on a big major tour, and I just said, I'm not going. And enrolled myself back into school. I earned 3 certificates at UCLA. I got a master's degree at USC, and just started teaching at universities and counseling people one-on-one, and getting out there and speaking at lots of different conferences. That's where I met Jimmy. And I think it probably has been, I wouldn't be surprised if it was even, 20 years, maybe. Or so ago. I've been a guest at SongNet a couple times. I think I drove over into Pasadena 1 or 2 times, and it's always good to see Jimmy and to see the kind of network he's created and the kind of the family he's got. I think it's really, really great. So I'm excited to be here. I know that you guys aren't here to listen to my speech, so I figured that what we do is we get right to it. And I guess you guys are going to play music, and we're going to, comment on it. I think before we start, I should just say that I'm going to lend my ear from the perspective of somebody that has listened to tons of music, worked with tons of artists, and and worked with tons of publishers myself and A&R people, and I'm going to just base my comments on all of the knowledge and all the experience that I've acquired over the years. What I've seen place, what I've seen not place, the reasons why, and so on and so forth. There are so many factors when analyzing a song. It depends on what you want to use it for, so I think I'm just going to go with the gut on this and just say, I really love that song. I think it has a nice melody, or I think it has, a nice chorus or really nice lyrics, and just, kind of keep it general like that. So if you guys have any specific questions, I'd be more than happy to address them. But I'm going to do the gut response, which is what I like doing. Just the gut response. Did it capture my ear? For whatever reason, and I'll just share it with you. So I consider me more like a feedback loop for you guys today. Okay, so thank you for having me, Jimmy, and let's rock and roll. Let's get it going, right?
Okay, and one more thing before we start, if you could put the YouTube link for your channel in the chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You just put up another one this morning that was really good. It's actually a compilation of several of your other videos all in one, different mistakes that musicians make. Yeah. I appreciate you mentioning that. I also do, I'm very passionate about releasing, educational snippets, material, and things like that. I have a YouTube channel, and I release, 3 times a week. And I'm also on TikTok and release every day. So over on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat right now. It's pretty much youtube.com/Bobby Borg, and would love to see you guys over there. And in fact, feel free to email me and ask me any questions, and we can make videos out of those things. On TikTok, I'm Bobby Borg Music Business. So on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Bobby Borg. And on TikTok, it's Bobby Borg Music Business. Okay. And again, Jimmy, just please, let us know how we might be able to give away one copy of the book, which is Introduction to Music Publishing for Musicians, and it was written by me and Michael Ames. Michael Ames owns Penn Music Group, and he has been running Penn Music Group for the last 30 years. And they do obviously publishing administration, and they also do placements in film and television and video games and stuff like that. And Michael currently is in Hawaii right now, doing a
songwriting sort of festival or conference, so he was not able to make it today. But here I am. All right.
All right,
I just
one
put
of
the
one of
link.
the people here is actually from Hawaii. Bruce is tuning in from Hawaii, so
Oh, good deal.
yeah.
Aloha.
Yeah.
All right. Aloha.
And one of the cool things that I really like about what Bobby posts on his YouTube page, especially, is that they are rarely more than 5 minutes long, usually even shorter than that. So everybody has that kind of time to be able to listen to something, get a little educated, make something happen. And it's always really, really good. So make sure that you do check out his YouTube page. Thank you. Okay. Steve, you're still there?
I am here.
So let's see. Stephen Palmaderos was here. Where is he at? There he is. I'm guessing you wanted to put him up first for a reason.
Oh, he said he had to leave, or they had some sort of event or something. He and Sante were the two who had to do a little early.
Okay.
So let me bring up the lyrics and see if the song will play. I'll share my screen and then keep my fingers crossed.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and can you hear that?
No.
Oh, okay. Um,
Strengthen me
how about now?
in spaces my eyes weren't meant
Can you hear now? Okay.
my beating heart. Hold the hope
You want me to start it over?
need to believe.
Yeah, if you could, Steve.
Yeah, let me do that.
It's pretty faint too. If you could turn the volume
All
up
right.
on your end.
Okay. Give me a second here.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, here, I got it way down. This is going to go up quite a bit, so let me. All right. Tell me if that's okay. Just is that okay?
A little bit more if you can.
A little more?
Put it all
Okay.
the way up. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Carry me to the places you meant for me to be. Strengthen me in spaces my eyes weren't meant to see. My beating heart holds the hope that I need to believe. May these hands play guitar while I sing out of key. Lord, carry me as I grow, while you let me know you will safely shelter my soul. Till the day my spirit lifts from this earthly gift, Lord, carry me, carry my soul. Sorry for the things that I've done, trying to ease the pain until I was numb. Thanks for battling to nurture my tortured soul, giving me a second chance to be whole. Lord, carry me as I grow, while you let me know you will safely shelter my soul. Till the day my spirit lifts from this earthly gift, Lord, carry me, carry my soul. When I can't go anymore, I'll let you know. Lift my spirit to you, Lord. safely shelter my soul till the day my spirit lifts to my earthly end. Lord, carry me, carry my soul. Lord, carry me, oh, carry my soul.
All right, very nice. Okay, so yeah, I forgot to mention, Bob. You can just kind of give us a visual cue like this or whatever to let us know that you've heard enough, and we can move on because we do have 14 songs, I think, to listen to. So
Oh, I got it. I didn't know that I was the main commander of all this.
yes, you are king here, man.
Okay. So what do you guys normally do? Do you do verse,
Yeah,
bridge, chorus?
usually verse chorus. Sometimes we'll go to the bridge. Yeah,
Okay.
if you think it's really worth going to the bridge, because we do put the lyrics up as well, so you can look at the lyric, and if you think that the lyric justifies waiting to the bridge, then we'll do that. If not, then you can just go ahead and
Got you. So as I pointed out, like I just like to, pretend as though I'm driving down the street in a car, just, on my way home, and I hear this song, and how would I kind of respond to it? That's kind of how I would like to do this today. And to be quite honest with you, from a performance standpoint, we'll start there. I thought that, the performances were very good. I thought the vocal performance was good. I thought the musicianship was good. I thought the sound was relatively good. So in other words, it was well recorded. I didn't see or nothing popped out as being a significant problem with regards to it being broadcast quality. And as far as the song itself, I like to know what a song is about. And, this had a very clear subject matter in the chorus that repeated. It made it clear what the song was about. It made it very clear what the title was. That wasn't hard to guess when I looked at the lyrics. I could see this probably, this is just me, but automatically I saw like maybe a Hallmark type production, kind of came to mind in terms of maybe potential placement opportunities. Of course, something with some sort of religious connotation. I mean, if there was some sort of movie that was more Christian based or religious based, obviously this would be a good fit there as well. But the main thing that came up in my mind was, maybe some sort of Hallmark type production. They have very family oriented, clean, type productions. And I see this as maybe being a nice complement to that. If this is going to be released as an artist kind of release, I would think, obviously something more along the lines of the Christian music market or maybe even potentially the traditional country music market. But I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. Hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, I appreciate your comments, Bobby. My plan is to try to pitch this to some Christian artists. That's I hadn't really even thought about Sync yet for this song.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm glad to hear you think it could find a place. And most of my stuff would probably land in the land of Hallmark or Disney or something like that. So,
yeah, I think
appreciate your
so.
comments.
Yeah, I know, certainly. And just one comment about your comment is that, probably one of the hardest types of pitch to do is the artist pitch, of course, as you know. So I would recommend having very specific artists in mind. And of course, you already know that a lot of those artists are going to be looking for, and I know nothing about you, so forgive me if this comes across wrong, but they're going to be looking at probably, the biggest hit songwriters of that genre and probably looking at them first. So it's a little bit harder to do an artist pitch, but certainly it's not impossible, of course. And you might want to think about Sync as maybe as a way to get their attention, maybe even.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep.
all right, that was great. Okay, Santi, I think yours is up next.
Just a quick word before we start. The vocals on this are terrible. They need to be comped, tuned, and all of that. So just a note. Other than that, feedback of any kind is welcome.
Okay, Steve, go ahead and pull it up. You there? Uh-oh. There he is. Okay.
My bad, I let you let me down. I let myself drown in thoughts of you when I should have taken the canoe. My bad, after your 1,000 lies, I believed your 1,000 first. Oh my, I let you make me cry. Then I let you make my tears run dry. My bad, I gave you the lock and threw away the key, and trapped myself in reveries and blurry memories. But thank you for making me stronger. I've even learned to breathe underwater. My bad, I believed in a third chance. After you blew your second ground, though we declined, I thought we'd get better with time. My bad, I kept calling true sex, kept finding excuses to convince myself you meant good, that you couldn't help being rude. My bad, I gave you the lock and threw away the key, and trapped myself in reveries and blurry memories. But thank you for making me stronger. I've even learned to breathe underwater. My bad, I thought we could pull through. That you'd never listen was something I already knew. But I still kept going with my words. 2 steps back, none forward. 2 steps back, none forward. My bad, I gave you the lock and threw away the key, and trapped myself in reveries and blurry memories. But thank you for making me stronger. I've even learned to breathe underwater.
All right, very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just got caught up in listening to it and forgot the whole cutoff thing. My bad. Oh, my bad. Look at that. Wow. See how it's infectious. Okay. So like I said, I'm just gonna, I just write down stuff from whatever comes to mind, I write down, and this is what I wrote down. So first of all, I just loved the blend of like the acoustic kind of, guitar together with the program drums. I mean, I just liked the way that sounded. And I noted here, I really liked sort of, you have this way of how you phrase your vocal parts. You had some very hooky rhythmic parts there. That was very kind of something that could be very, something that grabbed my attention, the way you kind of did your vocal things, like da 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 da, it's just like something, little pieces that you could grab onto, which I really liked. The hook chorus, my bad, it's actually quite interesting because again, it just sort of, it felt very personal, very honest. It's something that people would say, my bad, when they screw up. So I really like that. I like the tone of your voice. Kind of have this young kind of quality to it, this young sort of innocent quality to it, which I really thought was endearing. I liked the chorus. I thought there was strong uplift to the chorus. And I liked some of the doubling that you were doing, or some of the harmony that you were actually adding in there, even though this is a rough demo and you told us it was. The only thing that kind of caught my attention, well, the two things. The one thing, obviously, you told us and warned us about. The vocal performance could obviously be a little bit better and more on track.
Mhm.
And I noticed that in a couple lines, you were doing sort of what's called telegraphing, which is not against the laws or anything, but it just makes it very predictable when you're singing and you say cry, and then I hear the line coming and I already know it's going to be dry, and so on and so forth. There's no rules that say you have to rhyme. Sometimes what makes an element of surprise when you don't say cry, or you even don't use a word that rhymes, it kind of throws us off a little bit and offers a little bit of an element of surprise. So that's basically it. These are bullet points of what initially came to mind. Overall, I would say that I would not change the dial on the radio, or I would not change the playlist on Spotify if I heard it. I would definitely have listened through this to the end. Both of the songs so far. So
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
and for purposes of time, I guess I will start cutting it, but that does not indicate in any way, shape, or form that I don't like the song, just to let everybody know, just so that we can make sure to cover everybody, right? So
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
thanks, you guys. Yep.
Yeah. And Science, you mentioned that she's in one of your classes, I think, too. So
I should have also indicated that. Yes. I just saw her last night on my USC class. Yeah. She told me that she was going to be here, so I already expected her, but that's quite a surprise. Yeah. Small world, huh?
yeah,
It is.
all the way from India, too. So that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally awesome.
Okay, next we got Bruce Allen Oatway. So Steve, go ahead and cue that up, DJ.
Give me one moment here. Gotta move this window. There we go.
I'm back in blue, back in colors, tried and true. I'm back in blue. I can't help it, I'm in love with you. I was coming up with nothing, digging myself a hole, straight down to China and deeper than my soul. Then I saw that rainbow, heard the morning dove. I remember you saying it was all about love. So I'm back in blue, back in colors, tried and true. I'm back, back in blue. I can't help it, I'm in love with you. Back in blue, back in colors, tried and true. black and blue. I can't help it if I'm in love with you. I'm back, I'm back. I'm back, I'm back.
All right, good deal. So I got caught up in listening to that, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to cut these things off. Okay. So I mean, I just, like I said, you know, it's coming from the heart, it's coming from the gut, driving down the street, listening to the music on the radio, you know, would I change the dial? And again, this is another one where no, absolutely not. I absolutely love this style of music. You know, it's very sort of that classic sort of blues rock sound. I mean, it sounds like it could be current and it could be used current, but it sort of has that, you know, that's in my mind, that sort of 70s influence, you know, like Neil Young, of course, comes to mind, and that kind of style and era. I thought that you had, you know, and don't take this wrong, but there was a quote that I once heard someone say, and that was the perfection of imperfection. And in this case, I would say your vocal style and performance isn't perfect, but it's perfectly imperfect. If that means, I thought that your voice is very unique. And that's probably one of the, I mean, of course, I did make the comparison to Neil Young, but of course it doesn't sound like Neil Young, but it kind of reminded me in that kind of style. But you have a very unique delivery in your voice. Sometimes you do things that are not perfect, maybe a little bit off a little bit here and there, but I love the delivery of that. And I think that that kind of performance is what gets people's ultimately, or that kind of sound or that kind of style is what gets people's attention. It doesn't sound like everybody, you know, so I really like that. I can see this as an opening scene, a beginning title or end title in some sort of movie. I remember there was a really, really great movie. I think it was called To Hell and Fury, I think, recently. It was a really, really cool sort of Western movie about two guys that start bank robbing in order to earn the money to pay their mother's farm off or something from the bank. The bank was going to take, and it's a really, really good, really excellent movie. And I could see this as totally being like the end title or the opening title. And as you guys know, end titles and opening titles are the titles you want to get in a sync. So that's kind of a cool compliment. Hopefully, if you found that helpful. That's it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one thing that I'm noticing too is that you have the instrumental bridge in there, which you don't hear very much in music anymore. You know, one of my friends and I were talking about, yeah, man, the cool guitar solo, like, you know, it's gone. I says, oh yeah, it's kind of true. But
yeah, I did like that. Good point. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, very cool. Thanks. Okay, next we got John Bernard. There he is.
Hey, let me cue everything up here. It's coming. And here we go.
Driving around back country roads, moon shining down full, had me a talk about a woman I had, how good love could turn out so bad, and I'm wondering by my side under star-filled sky. She said our love was real, then she let me have a feel. As long as one hand is on the wheel, but I wonder now, who's got a hold of the wheel tonight? Who's holding you like I used to so tight? Who's got a hold of the wheel tonight? Who's loving you? I should have realized by now, only love can break a heart.
Right. So my, this might be an obscure reference, but back in the there was a period in the Rolling Stones career where they actually started to be a little more country than rock. And this really kind of, I know this might be obscure and you might not be into the Rolling Stones, but they did have a period where they're into country music. And this put me right sort of in that vibe when they were doing that kind of style, when they were doing country. And I personally absolutely loved that phase of the Rolling Stones. So that's, for some reason, that's initially where my mind went. I thought that I liked the hook chorus, "Who got a hold of the wheel tonight?" To me, that's sort of a, taking hold of the wheel. That's a clear metaphor for what you're trying to say. And I thought that was an interesting way of saying what you're trying to say, but not saying what you're trying to say. Who's got a hold of the wheel tonight? And also, I love the background vocals in this. So I thought the performance was great. I thought the background vocals were great. I thought the performances were great. For a second there, I am a drummer. So this did caught my ear. I was like, wait a minute, is the backbeat reversed in one place?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So basically I was like going, that's pretty interesting. It didn't bother me. I just thought it was interesting. And I like interesting stuff. I like when people do things that are a little bit unconventional, because it does grab the ear, and it worked. So that's all I got here. I would not have changed the radio dial on this. I would have let it play all the way through. I liked it.
Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll recut it with the proper hits on.
Like I said, I didn't mind it. I just really caught my ear, and I was like, wait a minute, did he change that around? Did he reverse that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay. Are you the drummer, or are you the programmer?
Yeah, I played everything on there.
Oh yeah. I consider keeping it, because I thought it was kind of cool, to be honest.
I've kept it so far, but I know it's funny. It would take another drummer to catch that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't think anyone else would. But I really like this. By any chance, sorry, you know what I'm talking about with the Rolling Stones country reference, or no?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
okay.
I totally did my Keith licks.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Okay. So you did like that era too?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I absolutely love that era. Yeah. I mean, I think this is great. I loved it. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
One thing that I was thinking would be kind of fun, because I'm also a car guy, and just a couple little tweaks in there, and it could be about a car that you had to sell or lost, and it would be so perfect. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, because like the Mecum auctions and stuff where they have all the vintage cars and things, it'd be kind of a cool thing. But anyway, moving on. Let's see, we don't have Gia here or John Pfeiffer. Let's go to Larambe. All right, Steve, go ahead and set up Larambe.
Yeah, Jimmy?
Yeah, so Steven's setting you up here. We'll be hearing you in a second here.
All right, howdy doody, everybody.
sweet melody. Heard her loud and clearly. She touched me deep. And she was so appealing, piqued my curiosity. Had insightful lyrics that were so compelling, and her performance was so overwhelming. Sweet melodies playing again, playing again. Now I hear music where there had never been. There were many musical choices, but I chose hers instead. 'Cause sweet melodies stuck in my head. She got the rhyme and the rhythm has a natural flow. She sings with conviction, straight from her soul. I listen closely, 'cause she speaks to me. Feels like our spirits are in perfect harmony. Sweet melodies playing again, once again. Now I hear music where there had never been, never been. I had my choice of music, but I chose hers instead. 'Cause sweet melodies stuck in my head. Every time we meet, we never miss a beat. Singing duets into harmony. Since we begun, every song we sung turns into a symphony. I had my choice of music. I chose hers instead. 'Cause melody is stuck in my heart. Melody is stuck in my head.
So I remember there was a time when I was in Boston, and for about 5 years I was playing with this R&B soul kind of. It was kind of a mixture. They did 50s, they did R&B, they did soul, they did Motown, and these were players from Teddy Pendergrass's band, B.B. King, Lionel Hampton, James Brown. I was playing with some really good musicians. I really don't know why they were playing. I was 20 years old, 21 years old, and they were all like in their 70s and 75. And we played all this kind of music. And I absolutely fell in love with this music and just learned so much from them. And it was just such a great period. So right away, when I heard this, it kind of brought me back to the times when we were doing this kind of stuff. So I love listening to this style, and I love hearing, listening to this music. You know, interestingly enough, there was flavor from the past, but it also felt like there were elements that could work now too as well. For example, when you kind of, in a very subtle way, brought a little bit of like, and you did it very subtly. I thought it was pretty clever how you did it. You kind of maintained the integrity of the music, but you kind of added a little bit of like a rap thing, but not a rap thing, sort of in the middle, which I thought was good because you kind of made it a little bit more current. I love the orchestral part that you put in the middle. I think it was after the second chorus, right before the bridge.
Yeah.
And you know, I wasn't really 100% sure what the song was about, but I thought the repetition of the hook lyrics, sweet melody, is stuck in my head. You know, it started, it was enough and it was repetitious enough so I kind of could grab onto that as sort of an anchor. And it started to get my imagination going about what that song sort of meant to me. It could be a number of different things. It could literally be, by translation, you admiring some other singer, but I took it more like the voice of somebody that you absolutely fell in love with, and her voice or talking or sound or whatever was stuck in your head. Sweet melody was, Sound of Angels. I don't know. It was kind of, I left it up to my imagination. So I wasn't 100% clear what the song was about, but there was enough of an anchor there to kind of keep me interested. And and keep
About
listening.
sweet melody.
It's just a sweet melody. That's it, right?
It was about sweet melody.
Got you. There you go. Well, then it was literal. Okay. Got you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the woman and what she does.
Gotcha. Oh, okay. Okay. I see. Okay. Well, that's originally what sort of I grabbed it to be.
Yeah.
And then I started making up all these other things.
That's good. That's cool.
I was like, well, maybe he means this, but no, that's the way I originally took it. You were talking about melody itself, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. I enjoyed it and wouldn't have turned the dial on this one either.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Brought back some good memories and feelings. Yeah.
We're getting some good stuff tonight, definitely. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Marilee. So, Steve, go ahead and pull up Marilee Weber's.
Come on, baby, let it rip tonight. Let's not fuss and let's not fight. I haven't been home since I don't know when. Let's let the joys of love begin.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy out there, let's smooth it out.
Yeah, start it over.
Yeah, let me start. Sorry about that. There we go.
Come on, baby, let it rip tonight. Let's not fuss and let's not fight. I haven't been home since I don't know when. Let's let the joys of love begin. It's crazy out there, let's smooth it out. Inside, no need to twist and shout. One moment alone, make a sin. Let's let the joys of love begin. Babe, come see me. I need your company. Don't wanna know what it'd be like without your love tonight. Don't stop right out of my head. Pitched and horse trying to make some bread.
And sorry for these. Oh, can someone mute? Yeah, because I'm getting a echo. So if everybody can mute, yeah, okay, good deal. So basically, sorry for these kind of if they're abstract references, I don't know. But the first thing that when I heard the production of this and the vibe and the style of this, I was like, wow, I should break out my Steely Dan Asia record. I was just like. And that is, of course, a horribly huge compliment, right? Because that record was just, obviously a big one, right? So that's number one. Number two, I love that the chord change that kind of caught me off guard on Fight and on Shout. You know, it comes kind of in a place you wouldn't expect it. So that was very, very cool. That kind of caught my attention. I really liked the use of the Rhodes, which sounded like a Rhodes piano. I liked the vibe of the marimba. I liked all that stuff. A couple of things that I thought could use a little bit of improvement. I thought that I liked the tone of the vocals. I thought maybe the vocal performance could maybe use potentially another go. I also thought that when you went to the second verse, I thought at that point it was time for the chorus. Actually, I thought that the second verse started to drag things out a little bit. And also I thought that section where you kind of left, there was no vocal. I was kind of going, okay, what's going on here? Is this a solo? And if it is, then you should have turned up whoever was soloing. It sounded like maybe the pianist or the Rhodes pianist was maybe soloing, but it sounded like that needed to go up a little bit. So that's it. Absolutely love the style and vibe. It was great to hear this, and I wouldn't have changed the radio dial on this either, because I just thought it was very interesting, and it took me back to that very, very cool sound and style and record. So there you go.
Thank you. Steely Dan is the best, man.
Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
Got a little Ricky Lee Jones. I heard a little Ricky Lee Jones.
Ricky Lee Jones.
oh yeah, totally. Ricky Lee Jones for sure. Yeah, definitely. You guys listen to good music, right?
That's why we were SongNet.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah, always love your stuff there, Marilee. Okay, let's see. Pierre, let's get Pierre's up. And Stephen, I think your microphone is what's causing the echo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you can
I'm trying to mute myself as much as possible. Okay.
Yeah, just mute your microphone, and that should help.
Okay.
You just can't mute yourself, otherwise we can't hear it. So.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so we got Pierre's.
Well, here I am calling you from the payphone, outside your window in the rain, like I always knew I would. Make it an iPhone if you want, it's all the same. Look at him, putting away the dishes, while I'm probably catching pneumonia, for along on his devilish mission to numb you with domestic euphoria. You talk to me like I'm insane, like I'm a child who could hurt himself, but you're the one who's lost her mind, who's baking cookies, taking selfies with that man. Look at him smiling at the camera while I'm definitely catching pneumonia, pursuing a selfish chimera to erase me from inside you. Oh, can't you see? Can't you see if you were me? The rain, a distant memory, as I tidy up the kitchen. See my suffering, my suffering as evidentiary of the mistaken identity of your infatuation. Well, here I am reaching out from a plastic chair at urgent care. What a pain. With all the wretched drowned about. Call it an ER if you want, it's all the same. Look at me, shivering and moaning, with symptoms of pneumonia. Far along on my suicidal mission to save you from matrimonial coma. You talk to me like you're my mom.
Very cool.
Yeah. So basically, again, driving down the street, it comes on the radio, and what's my impression of it? So a lot of things came to mind. I mean, this might sound crazy, but Don McLean came to my mind. American Pie. I don't know where I got that from, but I felt elements of the song "My Mind." American Pie, Don McLean. I heard Beatlesque parts. I heard even Queenish parts. I heard Meatloafish parts. And how I heard that is in, you sort of have this storytelling character to your music, where almost as if you feel like, you're being taken, you're telling a story, you're being taken on a journey. And that's what kind of interested me in continuing to listen on. It's like I wanted to find out, okay, as the story sort of unlayers, lots of interesting parts and lots of interesting changes that you had in the song. Just about the time when so I should say before I move on, so there was a lot that I really liked about this song. It was very interesting. Just at the time when I asked to cut it off, this is questionable, but I almost started to feel, okay, let's not get too far away from the song with all these different parts, or I'm sort of forgetting where we are. You know what I mean? So, you guys all probably have heard of John Braheny, God rest his soul, but in his book, he used to talk about having a balance between predictability and surprise. If you have too much predictability, then it's too easy, and people get bored. If it's too surprising and it goes into too many different areas, people might get lost. So you want to kind of have something right in between. So don't necessarily feel this, but just as we were kind of getting ready to cut it, I felt, okay, just be careful, because if you get too far away from the base of the song, or the hook of the song, or the groove of the song, and you go into too many different parts, that might lose the listener. But that being said, think about Queen's, Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, that goes all over the place, and we absolutely love that song, so there's nothing wrong with doing this. But just kind of keep that in mind, just, for the future and moving forward. But ultimately, again, I love the vibe of this. And I think the references that I made, I mean, come on, if people tell you you have Beatles, the Queens, Don McLean, these are exceptional people. So very good job. A very interesting voice, by the way, too. It caught my attention right away. So
thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was one thing that I was going to ask you about, Pierre, is it sounded like you had like heavy auto-tune or something on. Did you have some kind of auto-tune or something on your voice?
No, I did not. But I did. You know what I did is that I used Melodyne to copy my voice for the harmony. So I did, in this case, it's a demo. So I did not sing the harmony myself, although it's my original voice, but I moved it, and it creates that kind of weird robotic.
Yeah,
harmony.
it does. That's
for
what
the demo,
thought.
I just do it so I kind of know where it's going to land, but this is not meant to be a final version.
No, that's cool. And the other thing,
how long is the song? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
The song is long. That's why I was hoping some feedback for it. Drags on, and I don't know how to shorten it because it's slow. And then the guy eventually dies, right? I mean, he catches pneumonia.
How long is it?
It's about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was sensing that. I mean, but then it is what it is. But I was wondering whether or not there's a way maybe to condense it. I love the storytelling though about it.
But I'm glad you think that too, because I can realize that's the weakness. I'm going to work on that. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's not only long, but it's extremely wordy. Although that is something that is happening. That's a very hip thing. a lot of the younger artists and stuff that I've seen and hear on online and streaming and stuff, they're like spitting rapid fire lyrics over and over and over again, and there's so much that sometimes you miss the story. In your case, I love what you do, and I also love the irony in everything that you do. When you did our showcase a couple weeks ago, that was hilarious. I mean, I loved every minute of that because you do things like that.
Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate
Well, I love you, but I'm dead. It's great stuff. It's really, really cool. So anyway, so thanks again, Pierre. Okay, now let's see. Some people still aren't here. Dan Marcus is here, so let's listen to Dan's stuff.
Okay, let me bring everything up here.
With all that you had, you let it get the best of you. The money, the gains, all the lovers you do. Though you won't accept it, you're caught in a vice. Your bubble will burst long before you get wise. You're too high to fly. Too high, too high, too high. Too high. You're losing your way in that big blue sky. Such control as you crash to the ground. You feel so secure when your friends are around. They say you're the best, but they can't take much more. They slip on the drinks that you spill on the floor. You're too high to fly. Too high, too high, too high fly. Too high. You're losing your way in that big blue sky. Nobody sees you like I do.
So, I'm a big fan of like Pink Floyd, and I'm not sure whether or not, you are, but, this song was sort of reminiscent of that vibe. And, I just like the vibe with music, and I dig the vibe of the song. I dig, if you are into Pink Floyd, this wasn't a Pink Floyd sort of in any way, shape, or form. I'm not suggesting it's a Pink Floyd ripoff, but it's definitely reminiscent of that style, and I love that style, and therefore I like the song. I thought pretty much the structure of the song was perfect. The verses were long, were perfectly timed. It went into the chorus perfectly. It didn't wait. I didn't feel like there was any dead sort of, meat in the song, so to speak, or dead weight in the song. The only thing I would say is that I can kind of like make up ideas in my head about what the song was about. That certainly the hook chorus was clear enough. It's, you're too high to fly, but I wasn't sure really what that meant. So I could probably make things up and kind of, think about things in my own mind about what it meant. Wasn't 100% sure. Is it a drug reference? Is it an ego reference? I don't know, and sometimes that's good that the listener doesn't know. But just letting you know that maybe if I was a supervisor trying to place this in a film or television show, I might not be sure exactly whether or not that hook lyric fit, because I'm not really 100% sure what that hook lyric means. But at least it was repetitious enough so that you'd know what the hook lyric was. So in any case, yeah, so good job on this. I love the vibe of the song.
Thank you, Bobby.
Whose was that? Okay,
Pardon?
Daniel. Okay, it was Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel, just out of curiosity, a Pink Floyd fan? No.
I like Pink Floyd. I wouldn't
Okay.
characterize. I'm not in any way a Pink Floyd expert, but yeah,
Okay.
I like what they do.
Anyway, possibility you were sort of influenced that with, by Pink Floyd when you wrote this, or no?
Not consciously.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But I'm sure subliminally.
Okay. Yeah. So I like this. And did you play everything? And did you sing everything?
No, no, no. I'm basically one of the writers.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, and it was my collaborator that actually is doing the vocals, and he put it together in some other state.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, give me. I'm curious now. Too High to Fly. Can you share that with us?
Absolutely.
What's the story behind that? Just out of curiosity.
I feel like Bob Dylan on a bad day, but basically, it means basically a person. It could be drugs, it could be ego. A person who is basically out of control, full of themselves.
Gotcha.
Partying, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, then pretty much, I took it exactly. I was overthinking it myself. It was pretty literal and pretty in that with that respect, then pretty clear. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks
I
for
was
your
thinking
comments.
maybe there was some sort of other maybe reference you were trying to make, something a little bit, okay. So it was pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Not consciously.
Okay. Now, so what are you planning on doing with this? Do you want your partner to actually go out and be playing this? Are you guys trying to sync it in film or television? What's the idea?
Actually, no major ideas. If you have any, I'd love to hear them. But right now, have no specific thoughts on where this song would play. So yeah, anything would be fine, but nothing laid out.
You guys just kind of, sort of exercising your creativity then, pretty much, and just seeing where this goes. You're having a good time doing it, right?
I would have to say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, keep on.
Words.
No, for better. What are you talking about? This was cool. I loved it. Yeah, it's good. Just I would say probably film and TV placements, documentary placements, just unless you want to get in a tour bus and go out and go across the road and tour.
I could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you'd be down for that.
Bus,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm up for it. Anyway,
Good
yeah.
deal.
Thank you very much for the comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
For myself, the one thing that really caught my attention was the arrangement, because the arrangement sounds so film noir, just the way that you've got the little more orchestration than you would have in a pop tune, and that kind of a darker feel. And for a lot of us, trying to get your stuff placed in film and TV, sometimes supervisors don't see it, but if you do your own video, then all of a sudden it kind of brings that around. And I can just see how that would be such a cool thing, to have like a Humphrey Bogart kind of a deal, black and white, clip that goes with that song to give it that complete feel of a vintage film noir sort of a thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I ask one very brief question? Any comments on the vocal?
I liked it.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. It wasn't one of the things that my mind was directed to, or in one way or the other. But if you really wanted to know, I would have to go back and listen to it again. Yeah,
Okay.
but I know that you guys are short for time.
Yes.
Like nothing stood out. Like, in other words, enough for me to comment on it.
Okay.
Which is good. And also could be bad, but probably mostly good, because right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
I thought he kind of sounded like Donald Fagen a little bit.
Interesting. Yeah. I see the black and white movie vibe though going, Jimmy. I see what you're going for. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, video is something that, because we've all kind of gotten used to being online after COVID, it's opened up a whole world for a lot of us. And like tonight, we had Bruce from Hawaii. A couple people were from the East Coast here. It's just we don't need to leave our seats almost in order to share our art. And by having a video out there, that really brings a lot more into the game because you're able to express yourself in a different way. It's not just about the music anymore. It's about the big picture. And I see more and more of that. That's why for myself, I'm at Kulak's as often as I can getting that video because, people are more prone to listen to a complete song with a video instead of just an MP3 that, here, listen to my song. No, that doesn't cut it anymore.
Right.
If they're watching a performance, it's like, oh, So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And let's see who else we got here. We have Ed Lackey here. And we'll probably just kind of run through the other ones that aren't here because I know that Roland Vega, he's been ill lately, and I think he just didn't want to come in, but he wanted to have his stuff done. And this is all archived to YouTube, by the way, Bobby. So
okay,
so that's why we're doing that. So yeah, here's Ed Lackey's.
I'm talking to the politicians, but they only tell me lies. Pat me on my back while they steal my eyes. Somebody's hand in my pocket. Who it is, I can't tell. Is it the IRS or the devil straight from hell? A girl standing on the corner, what she got to sell? She only wants to feed herself, but in the day it's hard to tell. Changes, changes, we need changes, changes, changes. Now is the time. Living in the middle of the street.
All right. So interesting stuff. I mean, again, I think to me, the standout thing in this piece, and this is to me, this is a very, very important thing as well, is not just the songwriting or the song itself, but also the performance quality as well. And I don't know anything about the background of the person doing this or whether or not they're trying to be the artist and trying to be the singer and so on and so forth. But whoever's singing this, I mean, I'm attracted to people that have an abstract approach to their vocals or have a uniqueness in their voice, because there's so much music out there and a lot of people sound the same, and this definitely stands out. It's kind of like a half talking, half singing, and that initially caught my attention. And then also the fact that this might sound obscure, but like some of the breaks and parts had a little bit of a Dire Straits kind of vibe, which was a very, very cool band. And I thought the lyrics were funny. The IRS, is that the devil? Is that the IRS? And so on and so forth, So overall, yeah, I mean, I thought it was interesting. That's pretty much all I wrote down.
Well, thank you. Enjoyed your comments.
And that was yours? Is that who is that? Is that Ed Lackey? Okay, good. Yeah. Are you the singer? Are you the artist yourself? Or is that a song intended for somebody else? Or tell me a little bit about it real quick.
I wrote that song 30 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And re-recorded it recently, but nothing has changed.
That's right. Yeah, that's fit perfectly with today, didn't it?
And but that's me singing, and I put together the whole thing. So
you played all the parts and recorded everything?
Yes.
Good deal. Just out of curiosity, do you have any sort of inspirations that you listen to vocally?
Well, you hit it. Dire Straits.
Really?
The
Wow.
Beatles.
Okay.
A whole gamut.
Yeah. Good deal. Yeah, I found the tone of your voice to be interesting, and your delivery to be interesting too. As I pointed out, there, not looking like the perfection of imperfection. There's things that were imperfectly perfect in my mind. I like things that aren't spot on and have a sort of an element of uniqueness to it. So anyway, there you go. Good job.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of interesting to hear bongos in there because you don't hear bongos anymore.
Yeah, right. I captured my mind too.
Yeah. Okay. So the only other person here that we're going to be listening to will be Steve. So Steve, go ahead and pull yours up.
All right.
And then we'll roll through Roland's, John's, and Gia's.
Right. Let's see. There's three of them. Three people who aren't here, right?
Yeah. Actually, Pari was here. I don't know where she went.
She had an open mic tonight, so she may be actually performing. I told her to jump back in and out, but I don't know when she actually has to play. So, but anyway, we'll run through
we
it.
can put her up after yours then.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where are we here? Share screen.
I ask you if you're busy. Specific day, specific time. Ambiguous, you say maybe, but you don't say why. Don't know what's going through that mind of yours. All those faces swimming inside, searching for your answer or your reasons why, and the reasons why. And at the last minute, sometimes with no word, you cancel on me, and you don't say why, and you don't say why. Yeah, you're just keeping me around. Yeah, you're just keeping me around. You got me waiting for so long till something better comes along. Was it for the dinners, expensive restaurants, a life that you'd never seen? Sugar daddy can't go wrong. Sugar daddy can't go wrong.
There we go. So there's a lot. Sorry, can someone mute? I think Steven needs to mute. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good deal. Yep, that's good. All right. So this was interesting. I mean, immediately when the groove came in, I liked it. I loved the groove a lot. It was very, very powerful. I liked the vocal delivery. Again, sorry for all these references, but remind me a little bit of REM or REM-ish kind of vibe. I like the verses. I like the pre-chorus. The first time that the pre-chorus happened, though, I thought that the pre-chorus, I wanted to hear it jump to the chorus a little bit quicker. And in the pre-chorus, the first time around, you have like a tag where you repeat a line. I personally maybe would not have that tag there and then jump right into the chorus. And then maybe the second time or the time after the bridge, maybe then add that tag, because then that would add an element of anticipation. And that could be useful. So I wanted it to go to the chorus maybe a little bit quicker, maybe just eliminate that first tag on the first time around and maybe do it like second or third time instead. I liked the uplift into the chorus. This is probably going to sound very strange, but I was like, reminded me of the falsetto kind of Bee Gees kind of vibe. But so that's really weird. REM and the Bee Gees together, right? But ultimately, I thought this was very cool. There was a lot of things about this song that I really liked. So there you have it. That's all I got.
Well, thanks. It's yeah. When I go sing karaoke, people think I sound like the Bee Gees.
Oh, so you haven't. It's not the first time.
And the irony of it is, if I go on Spotify and just play my stuff, right? You know how they weave in other people who sound like you?
Yeah.
Well, one of the people they weave in is REM.
Wow.
Which is interesting. It's very consistent.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, today, for all the references that I've made, I just want you guys to be clear that, I listen to a lot of music, and so these by no means does anybody in this room was ever implying that basically it was like I can hear the influences, but by all means, that's a major compliment, because it's done in your own way, but with these like influences and these mixtures and stuff that make it really interesting. So. There you go. Good stuff. Interesting stuff.
Thanks.
Yeah, I always think that Steve sounds like Steve Winwood or like Traffic back in those days.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But a lot of kids aren't old enough to know even what that is. So.
Still lost.
Also, Steve, I was wondering where did you have that produced, because that sounds totally different from the stuff you had before.
That was in Nashville Tracks. Yeah. That was Travis Allen and his gang of studio musicians in Nashville. Yeah,
that's totally different from what I've heard from Travis.
Yeah, the lead, which we didn't hear all of, but the lead in the middle after the second chorus is just a killer lead. I must say the guy who invented that was just brilliant. It's anyway, but yeah, they did a great job. In fact, they liked that song. Yeah, of the ones I was doing at that time, they liked that one. So I think that's why they put a little more into it.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
You guys should all put together like this massive show or something. You know what I mean? I could see you guys all like on stage playing a night together. That would make a really interesting concert. Everything I've heard tonight, each person plays 3 or 4 songs, and you just do this like massive like show or something. I think it could make a very interesting performance.
You want to play drums?
Yeah, you can break me out of retirement. I'll come back and
okay, we're filming this,
polish up some of them chops and come play behind you guys.
Okay, yeah. We got witnesses now.
Yeah.
What is your email, your YouTube thing?
It's in the chat. It's at the very, very top. I think the first thing. It's youtube.com/Bobby Borg.
Okay. Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very, very cool stuff there. Okay. Yeah. In fact, our showcases are kind of like that. We have everybody doing a couple songs each, and it's very much like this. We hear a lot of the new songs as they come out, and they're a little rough, but for songwriters, we can hear the song and we kind of know where it's going to go next, and then later on, it's exciting to be able to hear when they're produced. And it's like, wow,
Yeah, that's cool. Do you guys still do it in Pasadena?
Yes, we're still up at the Urban Homestead in the farm. So,
wow, good
Yeah.
deal.
outside.
yeah, it was still outside in the freezing. Well, it's not that cold because we got the heaters up. So if you get an opportunity to sit under a heater, then it's all good.
Heaters don't stop the rain.
Yeah, but it's been really, really good out there, and we've been having fun. So yeah, the next one's on the 15th. So Steve, you want to go ahead and put up Pari Paris? Since you know that she's supposed to be here somewhere. Steve, you there? Uh-oh. Did he freeze out?
No, I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
pulling it all up here.
Okay.
Okay, she hasn't texted me back, so she's probably tied up, but so we'll play this. Here we go. Whoops, I gotta share my screen, sorry.
Kill your mic, Steve.
All right. So, just going off vibe again, I know that was kind of like really in your face and stuff, probably for a lot of people, but to be honest with you, I thought it was cool. It was just like female angst punk, like with an Arabic feel, you know what I mean? It's just, I thought it was different. I thought it was cool. It's this isn't where we're going to like start analyzing songwriting. Well, it should have gone to the B flat, it was supposed to be raunchy. It was supposed to be, repetitious. It was supposed to be drawn out, all was supposed to be all of that stuff. That's what adds to the kind of craziness of it all. So, I could see this artist on stage. I could see this artist performing as an artist. I could see this, this being in some kind of crazy, production, some crazy sync production, of some crazy TV show that's out or some documentary or something. I thought it was cool. There you go.
What
Yeah,
I
I met
found
her at
interesting.
the, it went in an open mic the other night, so I haven't heard this one done before, but well, yeah, different, definitely different, yes.
Is that what
Who's
she
next,
does at
Jimmy?
open mic?
Pardon?
Is that what she does at open mic?
Well, she has other songs, and they're also kind of similar, but not quite as much as this one in terms of being out there, if you know what I mean.
What's interesting is the title on that. It really kind of kicks it home about the objectification of females. Where it's titled Miss Iran, and I can see where a lot of guys be gawking at a hot chick that might be Iranian, and then they find out that she's from Iran. It's like, oh, terrorist, and then it's wow. And I really get that. That's a very, very powerful statement when you look at it in the big picture that way. So
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Who next, Jimmy?
Well, we've got Gia, John, and Roland. You pick.
Gia, John, and Roland in that order. Are these the last three?
I put up Roland unmuted, so unfortunately.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
anyway,
And, yeah, these are the last three, so we can just go real quick.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
I never thought I could ever feel this way. My hand touched yours and yours touched mine. Then our lips did the same. And for the next few months, heaven came to me. You released your magic potion. You fulfilled my every need. Wake up, I must have been having a dream. Wake up, things are not as they seem. I kissed you in London, I kissed you in Spain, I kissed you in Amsterdam. But things never stay the same. The kiss of an angel was put on my face, so full of emotion from heaven's embrace. I kissed you that day.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I kissed you that day.
She's something to look at. Got me a little crazy.
Last night I thought of you for the first time in a while.
Yeah, it's funny. We're kind of at a stage right now where when we hear music, I mean, you can say, in other words, this is music that you don't necessarily hear anymore stylistically, but because of that, it actually makes it cool. Like, in other words, it's retro, and therefore it sounds fresh and interesting and new again, just simply because you don't hear stuff like this anymore. This immediately pulled me back into the sort of this sounds strange, but David Bowie hunky dory, era. And that stuff was very kind of cool. And so that's really all I have to say about this. it definitely sounds old, but in a retro, new, cool way, if that makes any sense at all. It's just simply because you're not going to hear probably an 18 or 19-year-old kid produce, stuff like this anymore. And but hearing this kind of stuff is cool because it sounds new and fresh and cool and retro. And there's all kinds of, I think, possibilities. It might not be, top of the charts on the Billboard pop charts or anything, but there's so many TV productions and documentaries and things like that need stuff that have that kind of retro feel. And, I think there's lots of possibilities. I think a lot of you guys should be looking in that era, because a lot of shows are being produced that aren't intended to sound like now, so there you go.
Yeah. Also, one of the things that I'm experiencing, and one of the reasons why I'm producing Who I Am, is because I'm seeing what's going on. All of my friends, being a boomer myself, all of my friends, including what I had listened to, were listening to the stuff that we grew up with. And sometimes that carries over to the younger folks as well. One of my daughters listens to Sinatra quite a bit. Another one listens to Chicago. She loves Chicago. Yeah. And I'm thinking, wow, these guys are gone, but they love that music, and that's the kind of stuff that they listen to. And then, of course, the people that I grew up with, they're all listening to like Santana and things like that we grew up with. And when we hear a band that is new that sounds kind of like that, or an artist that has that kind of a thing, like Shawn Mendes, he's got some of that stuff that sort of has that retro vibe. They dig it, and they go, hey, this goes right in my playlist because it fits right in with what I used to listen to and things that I'm still listening to now. So that's kind of good. The old phrase about everything old being new again is really
and this is actually there's been a lot of research by Billboard and Music Business Worldwide that said that the majority of music that's actually streamed on Spotify, believe it or not, I know this is going to shock a lot of people, is mostly catalog, and so it's interesting, and catalog can be defined, I think, as anything older than what is it, 14 months or something like that. But a lot of the catalog is stuff like Queen and Bowie and stuff. And I'm just thinking, wow, like, are these young kids really like discovering this stuff and just really getting into it? And it's apparently, yes, so.
Yeah, that's true when you go to karaoke too. Everybody sings the songs that hold up time-wise melodically.
Yeah.
There's not too many people who sing rap songs at karaoke. Mm-hmm. Only a handful. And then most of the other songs it's all over the map. I mean, it's 60s, it's some 50s, and everything past that. So it's consistent.
Yeah, I mean, there's this 18-year-old, or even maybe 17-year-old girl on TikTok that is a singer-songwriter, and she does a lot of covers. And she writes me, and she makes these references to songwriters. I'm like, who's turning you on to this stuff? We're talking about really classic, singer-songwriters, and I'm just going, wow, someone's feeding you some good stuff there for you to check out, Jim Croce and stuff. And I'm like going, to hear a 17-year-old talk about, someone like that is pretty interesting. So.
Okay, next I'll have John Pfeiffer, and then Gia left me two songs, one for sync and one for an artist. So after John, I'll have you just tell me which of those two you'd want to hear. So this is John Pfeiffer. It's called Sweating the Small Stuff. Let me bring it up here.
As I entered the bar, it didn't feel good hearing some yokel saying he ain't from the hood. Not one of the boys and just an old fool. No sweat on my back if they think I ain't cool. I just walk away. No need to hear what one joker whispers in another fool's ear. 'Cause if somebody's talking trash about me, then they're leaving somebody else alone. smear. Green eyes of disdain could have curdled a beer. I offered to buy her a drink, she refused. Perhaps she was hoping for a little less used. As I moseyed away, I couldn't but hear her chewing on me in the bartender's ear. But if somebody's talking trash about me, then they're leaving somebody else alone. While it don't feel good, my skin's old and tough, and I ain't sweating the small stuff. No, I ain't sweating what little minds say. The crap they're collecting just gets in the way of crossing.
So, I mean, overall, I mean, it's like a lighthearted sort of fun song. I could see like it's a perfect bar song kind of, I could see myself being in a kind of a bar with sawdust on the ground and, and a big beer and the band's up on stage and everyone's having a good time and laughing and clapping and stomping their feet. So, I mean, it's just a feel good kind of fun song. I don't really have anything to say about it, except maybe rhythmically there was kind of a moment or two where I was like, wait, what just happened? I don't know exactly what happened, actually, to be honest with you. But also the section right before the chorus where it kind of goes to da 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 dum da da like that. For some reason, I felt that it kind of lost the momentum on the way to the chorus, and maybe I would have preferred having that somewhere else. But other than that, it was just a fun, lighthearted kind of song. I could see everybody singing along to and having a good time too. That's pretty much it.
I love the one line. Perhaps she was hoping for a little less used. Which rhymes with refused. I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
How about moseyed away?
Okay, so we got one more jizz.
Yeah. Now she sent two songs. One if it's for an artist and one for if it's for sync. So which one would you want to listen to, Bobby? The one for sync or the one for an artist?
Sorry about that. Let's do sync.
Okay. Okay, this is called Back to the Innocence.
I saw it in her eyes. Her life is full of play. I look for that in me. When did it go away? It wasn't long ago. I saw the world is mine and never felt afraid. I wish I could rewind. Now it's time to find a way. I wanna get back to the innocence. I wanna get back to the simple things. Wanna feel like a child again and break free from the pain. It takes a long time to grow young and get back to the innocence. Back to the innocence. Gonna live life from my heart. See magic everywhere.
So, this is your classic sync for some I see as some sort of children Disney, for young kids, dreaming, imagination, just in it, I mean, something sweet and innocent, sounds very, very up that alley. Disney. The lyrics were clear. The chorus was clear. The hook was clear. The vocal performance was good. Production was good. I mean, I just kind of, for sync, I just see this as obviously being for some sort of maybe, some very sweet, beautiful, like storyline, imagination, innocence, youth. It could be some sort of cartoons thing or some sort of, again, something wholesome and clean and, maybe even Hallmarkish or whatever. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got on that.
Okay. Well, that's the end of it. We want to thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Very, very insightful and, real pleasure. Jimmy, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, here. Okay.
I was actually thinking about putting one up, but not mine. But I don't know.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's because Bobby knew her too. Leslie just recently passed, Leslie Waller, and she.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I have one of her songs here that.
I'm sorry to hear this, Jimmy. I saw the message on Facebook, and I wasn't really sure whether or not it was Leslie Waller. Wow, that's crazy. I'm so sorry to hear.
Yeah, so that's why I posted that one picture of that one event that you were at.
Yeah,
20-something years ago, man.
Man, I'm so sorry. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Did she stay in California or did she leave?
She moved to Virginia and went to med school, got a degree, and then she had cancer, and that was it.
God, man.
Yeah. So,
she was young, wasn't she?
She was in her 50s, but still,
She was a really nice person. Sad.
50s is young. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, damn.
And she, she had that organization, LAMP, and we did a lot of upscale events at restaurants and things, and it was a pretty powerful time. And we wrote a lot of songs together, and she was a great songwriter. I don't know if you ever heard any of her stuff.
Well, let's hear it now.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it here. Let's see, share sound, computer audio. Let's see if I can get this thing here. So I'm not sure. You guys hearing that? No. Okay. Is it working?
Yeah.
What a careless game we play. What a thoughtless life you lead. You're a beggar, you're a thief, flirting with deceit. What a furious charade. What a dubious display.
Man, I didn't know she had those kind of vocal chops, man.
Actually, that's not her vocals, but
Oh, it's not her vocals. Oh, I was gonna say that didn't say. Yeah. All right. Well, wow, man.
But
Well,
she wrote
God
that.
bless her, huh?
Yeah, she wrote that, and that was her next door neighbor. We were sitting there, and we heard her next door neighbor singing some covers, and we said, "Who the heck is that?" And so
Yeah.
she opened the door, knocked on the door next door, and said, "Hey, come over here," and recorded that.
Wow.
But
What's
the
her
keyboard,
name, Jimmy? Who was it?
I can't remember her name, but she she went on tour with Patti LaBelle as a backup vocalist, and that's the last I heard of her. But anyway,
makes sense.
Yeah, she's
Well,
good. But all the keyboard stuff that's Leslie, and she wrote that song. So,
well, let her rest in peace, Leslie. Right? I mean, that's crazy to hear about that bad news.
Yeah. So anyway, but I just thought you might not have ever heard any of her stuff. So because when we were doing all these events, her stuff usually didn't get played. So
Yeah, she was always trying to be there for other people. She wasn't
what
pushing
it is.
herself. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'll tell you what. If let's do it. If you don't mind, Jimmy, I'll just go ahead and do this and knock this out. How about put it in the chat, a number from 1 to 10, and the one that gets the number, make sure to include your address. And if you guys would be interested in a book that me and Michael Ames wrote called Introduction to Music Publishing for Musicians. It goes all the way from the very simple to the more complex, talks about the business and creative aspects of music publishing. And, it's selling well, and it's used in schools around the country. And if you guys don't know anything about Michael Ames, he's really a smart guy in music publishing. And he has a business called Penn Music Group. And another good friend of mine, Neil Gillis, is actually associated with the company. And these guys are just two very, very smart guys about music publishing. So how about that? A number of 1 to 10. If you guys want to play, throw it in the chat, and whoever gets the number, I'll send the book to them. All right.
we got 2 people with 7s. Come on, we got to.
Yeah. You guys want to play?
Yeah, we got.
I'm playing.
Are you guys playing? Oh, I don't see. There's the numbers. I didn't see them. Okay.
Okay.
So
So Marilee, you got to pick another number because
Uh-oh.
Ed picked 7 before you did. And the books are available on Bobby's website too, right? BobbyBorg.com.
I actually, you know what? It's funny, Jimmy. The pandemic basically caused Amazon to become even more of a giant, and people are just used to ordering on Amazon. My sales went from several dozen a month to like 0. So Amazon just has it too nailed, in terms of distribution and stuff. So I just leave it up to Amazon now. I put a link at the very top, by the way. Okay, I'll tell you what. Nobody hit the number. What do we do?
Is it 5?
No, it's not. But you guys want to all try to enter a number one more time, I guess?
Or just pick the closest one.
Well, the problem is that
There's one above and one below, right?
I can't say.
Okay.
Try it again. Okay, everybody.
Let's roll it again. We all done? All right. So, okay. So, Daniel Marcus is the proud winner. Daniel, why don't you go ahead and write your full address in there, and I'll have the publisher send you a copy. Make sure that you have, you don't miss anything, and then we'll get that out to you. Okay.
Thank you. We'll do.
Yeah. And everybody else, thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure listening to all your music.
If
Really
you guys have any
appreciate
other
it.
questions, you can ask him right now, real quick.
Where do you live?
Sorry.
I'm actually in Hancock Park area of Los Angeles. Yeah. Are you guys in Los Angeles too?
I'm in Sausalito.
Okay. Excellent.
Island Park.
Santa Monica.
Okay.
Good deal.
Interesting.
So where are you? Are you drumming anywhere, Bobby?
No, oh wow, we got a Philadelphia person, man. Go Eagles. Oh yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You've had a Philadelphia person.
Yeah, we
All
have
night long.
Dan Marcus, right? Yeah.
Well, Dan, you know, I'm from Philly too, baby.
Oh, you're Philly too? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You've had Philly all night long.
Congratulations on the on your team, man. You know.
We
I
got
lived there
one-
for
we got
15
a couple
years.
more weeks to go.
Does that count?
Yeah. No, thank you for asking. I feel that I had fulfilled my sort of my ambitions as a drummer. You know, I was made a couple records. You know, toured around the United States probably 12 times. You know, and then Europe and Japan and you know just all over the place and kind of got it out of my system. You know, saved some money, invested it. And then I felt like this really strong calling that I had to move on into helping musicians basically like understand and navigate this industry because I just saw too much of musicians just being very kind of, you know, musicians are just so passionate about the music stuff that they just kind of let the other stuff fly. And then I just saw so many people confused and ripped off and you know, they don't really quite understand how the industry works. And all of a sudden I just like became so passionate about the other side of it, so to speak, and just crossed over and never looked back. And trust me, I find it to be very weird too, because literally we are talking from the time of being 6 years old all the way to 24, literally obsessive amounts of work. I mean, we're talking, my brothers will tell you, they go, we can't believe that you're not playing because you used to play 14 hours a day. You used to go to sleep with sticks in your hands. I had all the best teachers, went to school, but you know, that's what the exciting part about life, you know, you move forward and you know, yeah. So,
but remember, Bobby, you have witnesses that when we have a concert, you're going to be the drummer now.
I'll come out and
get your chops up, man.
come out of retirement and
Chops up.
get those chops up. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate
Yeah, thank you very much, you guys. You know, honored to be able to listen to your music, man. It's like it's wonderful. Jimmy, you know, I got to tell you, man, you know,
Steven.
hats off to you and Steven for, you know, putting this together and continuing to do it for all these years, man. Jimmy has brought people together and done so much for the community, man. You know, so round of applause to Jimmy and Steven too for doing this, huh? Yeah. All right, good deal, you guys. Thank you very much. Dan will have this out to you and everybody else. Please come join me on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where you
Ciao,
at, Philly,
guys.
Dan?
Thank you, everybody.
Daniel.
Yeah, Jimmy.
No, this is Laurent.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Laurent.
Yeah, I'm from Philly too. Where are you at?
I'm in Northeast Philly, Somerton right now. Where are you?
Oh, okay. I'm in LA, but I'm a North Philly boy.
Oh, okay. Love it. I used to live in West Philly.
Yeah, I think you were better off going there.
Okay. We'll talk. Okay. Take care.
How about North Philly?
Okay, thanks again for everybody, and we'll see you guys next time. We do have our showcase again on the 15th, yeah. And then I'm going to verify with our guest speaker for next month, and that should be really good. It'll be Ben, as always, for March. So till then, have a good one.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.